What's up guys, it's Jake with TN Tac Pack coming at you with another special gun review. Today we've actually got a double feature for you. Today we are talking about the Smith and Wesson 642 and 637. Both very similar revolvers with a couple of key differences. So the Smith and Wesson brand, known to the beginnings of time to be known for their revolvers, have come out with a couple of different compact revolvers, each with a barrel length of about 1.5 inches. They came out with a couple of different versions here, and we have one of each. This is my personal carry, the Smith and Wesson 642 airweight, chambered in 38 special plus P, 5 rounds. And Brent's here, the cameraman, this is his, the Smith and Wesson 637, also airweight, as you see there, chambered again, 38 special plus P, also 5 rounds. As you'll see, they are very similar handguns, very same exact models more or less, except one has a hammer and one does not. And there's some key differences and pros and cons that go with that as well. Oh man, kicks like a damn mule, dude. Holy cow. So let's talk about the difference here. The main difference here, you'll see that the rubber grips are a little bit different. This is a little bit pointier on the 637, and this one's a little bit more softer. A little bit of a softer corner right there.
Is that the one that I put an aftermarket Hogue grip on? Check mine.
I don't know, honestly.
Is it branded? It may be Hogue.
I don't see any branding on this.
It may be Hogue. It may not be.
You'll see very subtle differences in the machining quality as far as the triggers go, for example. You'll see that his seems to be a little bit more rounded in some parts, and there's some strange little markings here with the actual trigger, like a corner is put in right there. That's actually missing on my 642. They both feature very similar mechanisms to release the rounds there. They both just pop out like that with this thumb press, and they both feature this mechanism to actually release the rounds to make it a little bit easier to pull them out. They feature the almost exact same set of sights when you're looking down the barrel of it. So here's the Smith & Wesson 637, and here is the Smith & Wesson 642. They both have very, very similar kick. Now the main feature here is hammerless versus hammered. So the hammerless 642, much easier to carry in my opinion, at least. This is why I got it, because I don't want to get snagged on anything in my pocket trying to pull it out in case there's an emergency situation of self-defense. Whereas you've got the 637 here. Brent carries this one. He actually uses a holster, which it actually keeps it from getting snagged. So very minor negligible difference, just something to keep in mind. Again, the big feature about this one is you can pre-cock the hammer. It makes for a very light trigger pull there. Extremely light.
And go.
I think that's it. Yeah. I flinched.
Did you?
When you fire with the hammer pre-cocked,
There you go.
watch carefully. You see that? That, my friends, is the key difference between these two revolvers. Extremely light trigger pull. Just a bit, just a little bit. It's so light, in fact, I kind of had negligent discharge earlier when I was shooting, just a little bit, because I didn't quite have it aimed exactly how I wanted it before the trigger went off. It's super light. That's why you always want to make sure you put your firearm in a safe direction at all times. So pretty heavy. You can see I can literally, don't ever try this at home, but you can literally just turn it. Not even the way of the revolver will actually pull the trigger for you. But don't ever try that. I'm just saying that's how stiff the trigger is. So the airweight versus hammer. Well, they're both airweight, but the hammerless feels a little bit lighter, just a little bit, but they're both very, very similar in pull. So both of these do feature a J-frame style grip. The price for the MSRP, according to Smith & Wesson's website, is about $640. However, over the years, I have seen the biggest price range anywhere from $300 or $400 all the way up to $500 or $600. So really, you gotta look out for good deals on these, because honestly, I mean, I got mine for like $400, I think.
I think I paid $250.
Yeah, and yours is a little bit older than mine. Mine's a little bit more recent. So all in all, I really think that these make for excellent pocket carries, especially in the summertime when you're wearing shorts and stuff like that. I find it a little bit easier to carry rather than, you know, a Glock 19 or a SIG P320 or something like that. I feel like that personally, you can just stick it in there, and because the trigger is so stiff, you can just have it in there and it's more or less secure. Now, don't take that to the bank. I'm not telling you to just pocket carry without any kind of trigger guard. I'm just telling you personally what I do. I'll have a pocket that's empty, this pocket here, and for me personally carrying, I just like to keep it in there like that. It's real snug and easy to pull out. I've got it readily available. That works for me. Of course, I would never suggest pocket carrying with keys or pocket knives or anything else in the same pocket. I'm just telling you what I do.
And why is that?
Because as this is in your pocket, you want to be careful to make sure something like this doesn't happen and you suddenly pull.
Might be a real problem.
You might get this caught somehow pulling your keys out. I mean, honestly, for pocket carry, I find it okay, just fine for me. I do enjoy carrying it in my pocket, but I make sure I don't put anything else in it. Just keep that in mind. You know, you do that at your own risk. Yeah, not telling you to do that. I'm just telling you what I do. I like it. It's got a lot of kick to it, you know, so it's kind of hard to maintain accuracy. You know, like with shot, it can be sometimes a little painful for smaller, softer hands.
So what do you think about it between the two?
So there's give and take with this, right? You're talking about hammer versus hammerless. Pros and cons. Well, obviously one pro with the hammerless 642, much easier to pocket carry. You can keep it in your pocket there, ready to go. There's nothing for it to snag on, right? That's why I chose this one. I'm very paranoid about any potential problem that could arise during a self-defense situation. Whereas if you've got the hammered version, the 637, same exact handgun, revolver I should say, except for this hammer. The trade-off being you can pre-cock it, and that way it's an extremely light trigger. And I just did that with my thumb there. Would I recommend this for a personal defense weapon? Absolutely. This isn't going to be like some kind of long-range weapon. You know, your most effective range for accuracy is probably going to be within like 10 or say maybe even 15 yards.
How can he drop my gun barrel first?
I didn't drop it though. I did not drop it. It fell out. Well, there's one.
It's all right. I'll fire around through it. By God, that'll clean it down. I showed that son of a gun.
Guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Remember, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Do you have a Smith and Wesson Airweight? Which one do you have? I'd love to hear from you. We will see you next time. Almost swept you.
Almost.